General Zod, Feora, and 6 other Kryptonians have departed Earth for Oa. Their ships are packed with human soldiers, preparing for a conquest. Zod's wish has come true. Infusing with Parallax, he has showed and taught Zod everything he needs to know. The ancient war with the Guardians, his imprisonment beneath Korrigar, and so much more. Zod also knows there's more emotional spectrums than just willpower. His need to dominate will bring him there once he's dealt with the Green Lanterns. He has also learned of Kal-El, the son of his former friend and colleague, Jor-El. He knows that Kal is not just a fully powered Kryptonian under a yellow sun, but also a Green Lantern, through biology with no need of a ring. Zod will try to appeal to his Kryptonian nature, or Kal and the Oan inhabitants will suffer the consequences. Zod's almost frightening excitement is felt by his Kryptonian people. Feora and the others know of the Parallax entity residing within him, even though they don't fully understand what Parallax is. All they can really tell is his voice has changed, his demeanor is different, and his eyes from time to time will glow yellow.
General, we are 5 minutes away from entering the atmosphere of Oa. We have planetary signatures, and their atmosphere is very similar to Earth's.
Good. Leave the humans on the ship for now. We will fly down and introduce ourselves.
The rebuild of Oa City continues. Abin and Sinestro have been reinforcing the walls around the city's perimeter. Arisia and Kilowog have been reconfiguring the defenses, and Kal, Ganthet, and Tomar are helping anywhere that needs it. Other lanterns on the planet are assisting elsewhere. Even the regular civilians are playing their part. Perhaps I could bring the Fortress of Solitude back here. Grab the shard and plant it somewhere within the city. There has to be some type of Kryptonian tips and tricks we could use to better our protection.
A good idea. Anything is better than nothing. With Parallax, we will need...
Multiple ship appearances are heard and seen jolting out of hyperspace above Oa. Lurking far above the clouds, everyone looks up. With their lack of information, there's no way to tell if this is good or bad. However, their intuition says bad. The 8 Kryptonians fly out of their ships and towards the surface of the planet. Kal and Ganthet gather Arisia, Kilowog, Tomar, Abin, and Sinestro to meet these unknown guests at the entrance of the city.
Everyone, remain calm, but prepare yourselves for anything.
Zod, Feora, and the others land a few meters across from Kal, Ganthet, and the others.
Hello.
Well, this must be the illustrious Oa. I have been searching for this world for a long time.
Is there something we can do for you?
Zod ignores his question and instead takes in the view of the city, quite futuristic in appearance and architecturally grandiose. He does notice a lot of damage in certain areas, however, but thanks to Parallax, he already knows what has happened. Now, looking at the group in front of him, he notices Kal.
That sigil. The House of El. How did you come of this?
Zod once again playing coy. He's baiting and biding his time wisely. It was my father's.
Ah, you must be Jor-El's son. Kal, it seems the ship he created for you wasn't for nothing. I always told him that he should have spent more time finding ways to save the planet, instead of one child. However, you standing here means Krypton still lives elsewhere in the universe, like us. Tell me, did his data shard survive your journey here?
No.
What a shame. I would have liked to say hello to him again. Even though it's not really him. Nostalgia, I guess.
Arisia looks up and notices the 3 ships over Oa are slowly spreading apart and covering different parts of the city. Assuming they've already run scans, they're placing themselves in perfect positions for attack. Arisia, trying to hide her concern, looks back at Zod and at the other Kryptonians, although Feora is staring at her with a tilted head. She knows Arisia has clued into what they're doing. Ganthet talks to Arisia using telepathy.
I know what you saw, Arisia, but don't let them see your fear.
They are here for war, Ganthet. This is not going to end well.
We killed a couple of your people, you know. They put up a good fight, even considering our power levels are higher and more dominating in nature. Although, I respect them. That's when I knew this planet had to be next. We come from Earth, where new Krypton resides. Kal, you would love it there. The sole survivor of the House of El, now reunited with his people.
I'm fine where I am.
Yes. I suppose this is all you know.
Zod walks closer to the group, making everyone tense up and prepare for a fight.
I do not wish to quarrel with another Kryptonian. There are so few of us. We need to uphold our numbers as much as we can. However, let me skip the pleasantries and tell you of my purpose here.
That would be great. Zod smirks and shakes his head. Kal is dismissing his fellow Kryptonian, but for good reason.
So be it. All of you have 24 hours to surrender this world and kneel to me. Anyone who doesn't will die, making a compelling example for others.
We are defenders of Oa and the wider universe. We are not so easily defeated. We are prepared to defend against your threats.
Is that so? I see so few of you, and surely the members of your corps that stand in front of me are your finest soldiers. I have killed your kind before. Your power does not match mine. If this is all you have, you should reconsider.
As Zod continues to talk, Ganthet is telepathically talking with Kal and Arisia.
He's not saying it outright, but he clearly has a lot of information. He's prepared.
He found us somehow and has been watching. He knows this is their best time to strike.
Something is off about him. I can't seem to tell what it is.
Zod walks away with his other Kryptonians following.
Once again, reconsider your decision. I'd rather not rule over dead bodies and rubble.
As he flies away and back to his ship, Kal quickly catches a glint in Zod's eyes. It shined a bright yellow. It's no coincidence. Kal knows what Ganthet was sensing. Parallax has indeed returned with a new host. If Kal's power is elevated due to his Kryptonian strength and the power of will surging through his veins, how powerful will Zod be with the entity of fear residing in him? This has gone from bad to worse. A decision must be made, and fast. Later that night, the main seven, Kal, Ganthet, Arisia, Kilowog, Tomar Ray, Abensur, and Sinestro, consider their options.
As we knew, Parallax would return. However, who would have thought he would return in a Kryptonian like General Zod? This does not bode well for us.
Arisia and I still have so many defenses to fix, and I don't even know if being 100% would do anything against Kryptonians, especially one with Parallax in him.
We still have many regular civilians left in the city. They're afraid, and there's not much we can do to keep them safe if we go to war.
We already have so many fellow Lanterns dead. Even 50 of us may not be enough to face against 8 Kryptonians and their frigates.
Even Ion, the battery hasn't shined any light in weeks. If there was any way to properly fight Parallax, Ion is it, and we don't have that.
Everyone begins to deliberate and argue over what should be done. Across the council chambers, Ganthet can see Kal sitting, with his head slouched down, feeling sorry for what's happening, as if this Kryptonian presence is his fault. Interrupting everyone and creating silence, Ganthet speaks.
I have ordered Medfill and a few others to silently depart from the planet and hide. We must be prepared for survival of our corps if all goes wrong here. Mogo will descend into the outer reaches of space, a destination I made sure to not know of, not until the time is right.
Then what are we still doing here? Why would you tell us this now? We need to leave.
If you wish to leave, Sinestro, then please proceed. In fact, anyone here is free to do so. But this is our home. We are sworn protectors. We will uphold will and stand in the face of adversity, no matter how small our chances may be. This world gave us opportunity and entrusted us with power only we could hold. We are chosen. It will not be easy, but I see a glimpse of victory. The true son of Krypton and herald of Oa will lead us there.
Kal looks up and sees everyone staring at him. The speech from Ganthet moved everyone, but their belief in Kal is making them stay. Even Sinestro. Standing up and feeling honored by everyone's trust, Kal addresses the situation. It's not lost on me what Krypton means to my life. Even though I have no memories of the world, I know I'm part of it. I know I lost my parents to it. I know it's why I am where I am today. And with a few exceptions, you all accepted me. You cared for me and loved me. I like to imagine I've done the same. Krypton is gone. And no matter how much Zod fights, conquers, kills, he's never bringing it back. Krypton had its chance. And no matter what happens, Zod and Parallax, and no matter what power they can conjure up, they won't have this world. They will be ruthless. Don't hold back. This is our survival. For ourselves and for our people.
In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light.
Back at the entrance waiting for Zod's approach is Kal, Ganthet, Arisia, Kilowog, and Sinestro. Zod, Feora, and a new Kryptonian land to the surface. The new soldier stands out especially. He's easily 8 feet tall and as wide as a tank. The lanterns stare at him, trying to hide their shock and awe.
Please, do not be afraid of Namek. He is not here to fight, unless there is a fight waiting to happen.
The lanterns slowly enter their fighting stance. The Kryptonians follow suit.
General Zod, we deny your claim to this world. We will defend Oa against you if we must.
Zod slowly lowers his head and smiles. Parallax has now gained control. Perhaps Zod cannot maintain the power, or perhaps they have their own agreement. Nevertheless, Parallax and Zod must be stopped. The Lanterns and the Kryptonians lunge at one another. Kal and Ganthet against Zod and Parallax. Arisia and Kilowog against Feora. And Sinestro against Namek. With chaos erupting at the entrance of the city, Abin Sur leads the remaining Lanterns on Oa to an air assault against the Kryptonian human ships. Exiting from the ships is the 5 other Kryptonians who arrived with Zod, along with the ships now opening fire on the Lanterns and the city. They know what's at stake. They either win this fight, or Oa and the Green Lantern Corps is lost forever. Kal is feeding multiple punches to Zod, from one end of the city to the other. His power is unparalleled, and Zod knows this. He can feel it. However, the upgrade of Parallax is making much of what he and Ganthet does obsolete.
You waste your time and energy. You could have joined and ruled this world. Krypton can own this galaxy. I will make sure you do so on your bones.
Zod grabs Ganthet by the throat and throws him down multiple city streets, and flies Kal through multiple buildings, leaving them crumbling. At the same time, Feora punches Arisia into the ground, leaving a small crater. Kilowog flies down to check on her. Feora comes racing down from above, smashing her fist into the ground. Arisia and Kilowog move as fast as they can to get out of her way, walking out of the small crater with dust masking her body and creating her silhouette. She mocks the Lanterns.
The Lantern Girl is afraid, and fear causes weakness. In fact, both of you fear me. Even together you cannot win. When I am done with you, we will do the same to this planet and the rest of the worlds that wish to oppose us.
Using great concentration and strength, Arisia creates illusions of herself to confuse Feora, while Kilowog moves in as the muscle. Arisia is talented enough in this power to the point where her illusions are solidified and are doing damage to Feora. Deciding to fly out of the illusion ambush, Namek then crashes down and starts swiping and crushing all of Arisia's copies. Unfortunately, he manages to grab onto the real Arisia. He begins to squeeze her so tight that she may meet her end. Looking behind Namek, she sees Kal. His fight with Zod led him back to the entrance of the city. She uses her ring to create an extreme bright light that blinds Namek and drops her. Kal pummels Namek into the ground and uses his green heat ray to keep him down for a time.
Look out!
Feora flies back into the picture and takes Kal deeper into the city. Trying to create a large cage device with his ring, Zod evades the attempt and locks fists with Sinestro.
Yes, you. I remember you. You will overcome by my power. I can feel your pull to fear more than the others.
Kilowog and Ganthet both move in to restrain Zod and to pull him away from Sinestro, but his raw power is too much to handle. So instead, Ganthet attempts to telepathically enter the mind of Zod. This is dangerous. With a very small chance of success, Ganthet's eyes go pure white.
Kilowog, Sinestro, hold him down for as long as you can. I will attempt to rip Parallax from his mind.
Be gone from my mind.
In the meantime, Arisia handles Namek, as she realizes he may not be the smartest Kryptonian, outmaneuvering him and striking at the right time. Feora and Kal brawl in the city, underneath the epic battle of the Lanterns and Zod's extra forces.
You care for this world, Son of El. You could have spared them the consequences of your actions. We will make them suffer.
Then you underestimate what we are capable of.
You? No. I know your power. The rest, however, are no challenge. Their fear brings a feebleness that is easy to put down. Although, it rubs off on you. That makes you just as simple.
The smile on her face sends Kal over the top and blitzes her into a building. As the building shakes and slowly crashes down, the two stay inside and fight, throwing each other around, exchanging heat ray blasts, and Kal using his imagination to create Green Lantern constructs. Kal then punches Feora out of the building and soaring across the city. She picks herself up, impressed with Kal's strength, but annoyed she let him get the best of her. Suddenly, she gets a dispatch from one of the ships above.
General Feora, the Lanterns are trying to cut our field arrays, but we've picked up an extreme amount of movement outside the city.
Which direction?
Kal tries to stop her from flying off, but gets jumped by a few of the Kryptonians that peel off from their air assault battle. Namek also stops brawling with Arisia. He stands completely still, as if he is being controlled. He turns away from Arisia and jumps across the city. Confused, she decides to follow. Trailing behind Namek and weaving between city buildings, they come to the other side of the city, where the fighting has somewhat silenced. Flying over the wall that separates Oa and the desert-like forest of the rest of the planet, Arisia sees Feora holding Tomar-Re by the neck, floating above hundreds of people that he tried to silently lead through a secret path under the city. The people are afraid for their lives as Namek stands in front of them, waiting for an order. Arisia is frightened but angry, seeing Tomar-Re badly beaten. He has no more fight in him.
This one seems to mean something to you. Someone entrusted with this plan must have an important status. Your defeat begins with him.
Do not submit to them, Arisia.
Feora squeezes and breaks Tomar-Re's neck, dropping him to the ground in front of the civilians, more afraid than ever.
No!
Arisia, with all her might, leaps towards Feora and uses her anger as a weapon, pushing her deeper into the wilderness of Oa. Meanwhile, Sinestro and Kilowog continue to hold down Zod as Ganthet enters his mind.
You must work faster, Ganthet.
Parallax has made his mind powerful. I'm doing what I can.
Kal returns to deal with Zod and helps restrain him.
Son of El, you betrayed everything a Kryptonian stands for. Your father would be ashamed of what this world has turned you into.
Kal sends two powerful punches across his face and restrains him even tighter.
How much longer, Ganthet?
I can't. He's...
A huge burst of yellow light and energy emerges from Zod's body, knocking everyone away. His appearance has changed. He's taller than before, sharp teeth from cheek to cheek, and bright yellow eyes that burn just to look at.
I told you I would return, Captain. And when I did, I would be the end for you, and the destruction of Whale. My promise will be upheld.
Zod looks behind himself and up towards the sky, witnessing some of his fellow Kryptonians and ships fighting Green Lanterns. He blasts towards them and in one swift flight path kills multiple Green Lanterns by flying through their bodies. One of these lanterns were in front of Abin Sur. One moment he was fighting alongside his friends, and the next moment he is alone in the sky, covered with their blood. An angry Kal, as fast as he can, approaches Zod before he could make a move on Abin. Trying anything they can, Kal, Kilowog, Sinestro, and Ganthet attempt to fight him along with a few of the other Kryptonians in the area. Suddenly, back at the edge of the city, Tomar-Re's ring slips off his finger and begins to search for a new host. Namek, standing almost lifeless in front of the terrified civilians, becomes intrigued and distracted by the glowing green ring. He decides to chase and conquer the ring for himself. The ring, dodging Namek, leads him back to the main source of fighting in the city. However, noticing the ring, Kal and the others feel the connection to it. They know it was Tomar's. They know he has died. Hurt and distraught by this, they cannot let their guard down. But Kilowog enters a fury, enough for him to charge straight for Namek, allowing the ring to escape Oa and find whoever may be worthy. Ganthet now knows this means the civilians may not be safe, fleeing the battle to ensure their safety. Arisia and Feora blitz right by him and continue their brawl amongst the rest. Feora can see how Zod has changed in appearance and wishes to join him in battle against the others. She counters Arisia's attack and throws her over to Namek and Kilowog.
They killed Tomar.
I know. You know there's only one way this ends, right?
Arisia nods her head in agreement. Due to their determination and love for their friend, both of them become extremely empowered in the moment. Engaging Namek, he stands no chance. Their joint effort overwhelms him. Kilowog creates a clamp device to break his legs, and as he topples over, Arisia creates a green vibrating sword to behead Namek. The beast has been thwarted. Kal, Abin, and Sinestro have been fighting Zod and Feora, but it hasn't gone well.
This is madness! No matter what we do, Zod becomes stronger!
Say it with me. In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's love!
Zod punches through Abin Sur's chest. His body falls hundreds of feet to the surface. Kal and Sinestro don't know how to react. The same feelings go for Arisia and Kilowog from afar. Defeating Namek was supposed to be a victory. It now does not feel to be so.
Pointless. Every single one of you. I will do worse than what I have already done.
You're a monster.
Their defeat is imminent, General. We should order the ships to deploy our troops and sweep the city.
Zod turns around and punches Feora with pinpoint accuracy directly into one of their ships. Her collision pushes one ship into another, completely destroying two of their frigates. One remains.
The plan has changed. The destruction of Oa will commence.
Zod begins to annihilate all of the Green Lanterns left, along with his fellow Kryptonians he once called friends and allies. Ganthet looks towards the sky and sees two ships explode. He needs to bring these few hundred civilians to safety. He telepathically contacts Arisia and Kilowog.
Arisia, Kilowog, we need that last ship. These civilians must escape Oa before it's too late. Board it and clear all the hostiles.
But Zod killed Abin. He's killing all the other Lanterns, including his own people.
I know, Arisia. These are necessary sacrifices. The few of us must survive.
Kal needs my help, Gambit. He needs our help. He's trying to stop Zod, but there's only so much he can do alone.
Suddenly, Ganthit appears right in front of Aricia and places his hand on her shoulder.
Clear the ship. Kal and I will buy you two some time.
Aricia stares at Kal with concern before leaving with Kilowog to secure the ship. Ganthit now joins Kal against Zod.
Ganthit, I don't know if we can stop him. He's killing everyone, and he's not going to stop until he gets me and you.
I know, Kal. I sent Aricia and Kilowog to take their last ship and escape with the civilians that are left. I will do what I must to defend the ones I swore to protect, even if I must lay down my life to do so. I know your love for Aricia, but will you join me?
Kal looks up at the ship, knowing there's a chance he may not see Aricia again. It saddens him, but he knows what he must do.
Of course I will. This is my home.
Kal and Ganthit give everything they have, putting all the power they have left into their attacks on Zod. All they need is enough time for Aricia and Kilowog to escape with their people. They will not let Zod take everything. Meanwhile, on the surface and in the rubble of the city, Sinestro holds his mentor's body in his arms. While mourning Abin, his ring slowly comes off his finger, preparing to find a new host. Before it flies away, Sinestro grabs it and decides to keep it for himself.
Goodbye, old friend.
He lays Abin as comfortably as his lifeless body could be on this battleground and looks across the destroyed city. Watching Kal and Ganthit fight a pointless battle against Zod, he turns his back, flying off planet, and leaves. Aricia and Kilowog successfully clear the ship of hostile humans. Entering the bridge and moving the ship to pick up the civilians, Feora floats in front of the spacecraft's windows, staring at Aricia and Kilowog. She looks down and watches her general, a completely changed man, fight a pointless battle. Their original purpose has been lost in the chaos. Feora and Aricia share glances, almost having a staring match. Words between the two are being used without actually being spoken. And just like Sinestro, she turns her back and flies deep into space. The battle with Kal and Ganthit has become boring for Zod and Parallax. Temporarily subduing them, he changes his plan of attack.
I will get the girl, your people, and you, Ganthit, the son of El, will have the opportunity to watch me take over your lives, one by one. But before I do that, I will take your planet and everything you stand for.
Zod, with an outline of the Parallax dragon surrounding his body, races to Ion's battery and enters it. Disappearing within the dimensional world of the battery, it creates a shockwave that is felt planet-wide. Kilowog hurries the people to board the ship, but Aricia goes back to the city to see what's happening.
Aricia, where are you going?
I need to help Kal. If things look worse than what they are now, leave and don't wait for us.
The battery activates, but not in its usual way. It flickers green and yellow light, and the humming it's producing is bleak and destructive. The entire planet rumbles and begins to produce earthquakes.
What's going on?
He is going to destroy Oa. The battery and the planet are tied on an emotional and structural spectrum.
What about Ion? Can he fight back?
He has been recovering from their last fight. I don't think Ion has the strength. We must flee to the ship and find a new sanctuary.
Kal follows in behind Aricia and Ganthit, but doesn't feel right leaving. He knows Oa is likely to be destroyed, but leaving Zod entangled with Parallax, it's wrong. He stops flying and comes to a crazy idea. Ganthit feels it. He already knows what the idea is.
Kal, what are you doing? We have to go.
He looks at Aricia and smiles, knowing he's going to make the biggest sacrifice anyone could in this situation. Every moment he has shared with her plays in his mind. He gets close to her and softly places his hands on her face.
Kal, please. Please come with us. Don't go. I can't. I'm not ready to lose you.
I need to do this. For you, for Ganthit, for everyone. I love you.
After kissing her as passionately as possible, he flies towards the battery, with Ganthet pulling her away and retreating to the ship. Ganthet begins to tear up as Aricia cries, knowing the only son he had is sacrificing his life for the Guardian's mistakes. Kal enters Ion's battery. This beautiful dimension of strange, unexplainable space and time is being stained. Parallax is destroying Ion's home, bringing the entity with it. The destruction within the battery is just as bad as the planet and its core. Parallax can be seen behind thick and dark green clouds, tearing down this world like an evil sorcerer. Slowly hovering through his surroundings, Kal spots Ion floating in place, almost lifeless. His eyes squinted as if he's too tired to lift them, but tired enough to close them. Kal places his hand on the entity, and whereas it would usually go through an omnipotent being, he creates a solidified connection. A surge of green light surrounds Ion's entire body.
You once believed in me. Now do so again.
Ion's eyes widen, and the massive length and size of the whale inserts its being into Kal. Just like Zod and Parallax, Kal and Ion are one.
I will not let you defeat me. I must have your death.
Kal and Ion use their power to bring down the dimension inside the battery. The planet's core has collapsed. They stand in the midst of the core of the planet, creating a sort of black hole, sucking everything in around them. Aricia, Ganthet, and Kilowog watch from the ship as they fly out of Oa's airspace. Their home is being taken away, along with a friend, a son, and a loved one. Kal and Zod interlock hands and fists, pushing back on one another. With the combined power of Ion and Parallax, they are producing enough power, quickening Oa's demise. Zod and Parallax begin to interchange and talk over one another.
I will not fail again! I can't! No!
I do what I must for our people, Kal. My people. I will not let you stand in my way.
You have already done that yourself. Parallax is using you. Prove you are stronger than him. Fight him from your mind.
I can't. I won't.
This power is mine.
With the majority of the planet being swallowed into its own black hole, Kal becomes fully emerald. He breaks Zod's hands and uses all of his energy and all of Ion's energy to pull Parallax from Zod's body. And as the planet goes nuclear and explodes, so does the friction between Kal and Ion's power. The force of the blast propels the ship the survivors are on, making the scene less visible. There's nothing left but rubble and a small white light left behind from Oa's core. Oa, Ion, and Kal are gone. But the universe is now free from Parallax. A couple months have passed. Time has been difficult to process after everything has happened. After escaping the fall of Oa, the survivors made their way to Argo, the planet Kal placed the Fortress of Solitude. The survivors have slowly started to create cabins and living areas around the fortress. Overlooking the new settlement from an outlook atop the fortress is Ganthet, Aricia, and Jor-El, discussing future plans regarding the Green Lantern Corps without Ion.
How have the settlers fared on this planet?
As well as you could imagine.
Well, I am technically an intelligence program. I don't have much room for imagination.
Everyone shares a laugh, breaking some tension.
Kilowog contacted me today. He said a neighboring star system, friends of the Green Lanterns, are willing to send supplies to us. Food, materials, all types of resources.
Good. Very good.
Ganthet, Aricia, I wish to apologize for the doings of my people. Zod was always radical. Feora joined him in that. I'm sorry for what my people have done to all of you.
No, Jor-El. I should be apologizing. Not only did Parallax continue to exist because of the Guardian's decisions, but I threw Kal into the middle of this. This wouldn't have happened if we were smarter. If I did something about this much sooner.
Hold on. Who is that?
In the distance, a strange traveler can be seen making their approach towards the Fortress of Solitude. They seem to be carrying something glowing from their robe. The three of them meet this person at the entrance of the settlement.
Hello, friend. May I ask who you are?
The wanderer lowers his hood. It's Kal. He survived the destruction of Oa. Aricia runs over to him, hugs him, and kisses him. Kal is happy to see his family again, and Aricia is crying happy tears. Jor-El smiles seeing his son return, and Ganthet takes a major sigh of relief to see Kal has survived. Later that evening, Kal describes the events that unfolded after Oa's destruction. In the explosion, Zod died, disintegrated right in front of me. Parallax, I can't quite describe. Ion almost removed his presence as if he never existed. The blast sent me flying for millions, if not billions of miles. I was unconscious for weeks, just floating in space. But Ion protected me. Once I woke up, he spoke to me and instructed me of our next steps. I needed to build him a new home. A smaller one, this time. Kal presents Ganthet a smaller green battery that he had to make for him on a remote planet. Ion is rebuilding from within. His power is diminished, but it will come back in full in due time.
Amazing. We will need to keep it safe and hidden. We can't let anyone interfere with his regrowth.
This also means we could rebuild Ganthet. The Green Lantern Corps could restart.
Indeed, it does. This time, with smarter choices. I will not make the mistakes of old.
Kal, you seem to have something else you want to say.
Yes, I do. I won't be staying here long.
What? Why?
After seeing what Zod and my people have done to our world, the planets they have destroyed or conquered, as the last surviving Kryptonian, I need to set the right example. And because of that, I'm going to Earth to fix things.
You taught him well, Jor-El.
No. I believe this is your influence.
Kal grabs Aricia's hands, noticing her sadness.
How long will you be gone?
I don't know. Months? Probably a couple of years.
I just got you back.
I know. And I don't want to leave again. But my fate brought me right back here. To you. When I thought I'd never see you again. If it happened now, it will happen again. I believe it. And besides, I'm going to come visit here and there.
I can go with you. I can help.
I would say yes, but Ganthet will need you here. Something tells me you're the center of Ganthet's new plan. But no matter where I am, I'm always going to love you. Never forget that. Embracing Aricia, Kal looks at her, then looks up at Ganthet and Jor-El, the most important people in his life. Their love, their determination, their will. It will carry the last son of Krypton to always do what's right. Back on Earth, police sirens are blaring. People are running in the streets, and armored vehicles are swerving on roads. One of the armored trucks rams a police vehicle, flipping it off a curb, which sends the car tumbling towards a group of pedestrians with children. Kal darts to the vehicle and stops it from smashing into the people on the street, while also pulling the cops from the car. The people look at him in shock, as if they've never experienced their Kryptonian oppressors ever help them in such ways before. A woman clutches onto her child and looks at Kal anxiously.
Thank you.
The little boy looks at the S on the middle of his chest.
Thank you, S-Man.
Kal smiles, chuckles, and floats backwards as he bids them farewell. You're welcome. Now be safe out there. Kal blasts away and towards the rest of the armored trucks. His goal, to make Earth a safer place, has begun.